This video is all about factoring quadratic trinomials in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is equal to 1. For our priming activity, let us answer the following. Number 1. Give two numbers which, when multiplied, has a product of 10 and a sum of 7. Yes, you're correct. Your answers should be 5 and 2. Okay? Because 5 times 2 is 10 and 5 plus 2 is 7. Next, number 2. Give two numbers which, when multiplied, has a product of negative 18 and a sum of 3. Correct. We have 6 and negative 3. Because 6 times negative 3 is negative 18 and 6 plus negative 3 is positive 3. Let's proceed with number 3. Give two numbers which, when multiplied, has a product of 36 and a sum of negative 12. Yes, you will have negative 6 and negative 6. Because negative 6 times negative 6 is positive 36. And negative 6 plus negative 6 is negative 12. Now, let's have number 4. Give two numbers which, when multiplied, has a product of negative 42 and a sum of negative 1. Yes, you should have negative 7 and positive 6, because negative 7 times positive 6 is negative 42 and negative 7 plus positive 6 is negative 1. For the last number, we have give two numbers which, when multiplied, has a product of 27 and a sum of 12. You're right. You will have 9 and 3. Because 9 times 3 is 27 and 9 plus 3 is 12. Okay. So let's now proceed with the standard form of quadratic equation, or quadratic trinomial rather. So the standard form of any quadratic trinomial is ax squared plus bx plus c. So in the given 3x squared minus 4x plus 1, our a should be 3, our b should be negative 4, and our c is 1. Okay. So in our given examples here, let us try negative x squared plus 7x minus 2. So our a here is negative 1, our b here is 7, and our c here is negative 2. In the second one, our a is 2, our b is negative 1, and our c is 5. And in the last one, our a is 4, our b is 1, and our c is negative 2. So, let's now proceed with how we are going to factor. Are you ready? Okay, so let us have x squared plus 8x plus 12. Okay, so where our a is equal to 1 and our c is greater than 0, because we have here positive 12. So you are going to first list all the factor pairs of c, which is positive 12. So we have here 1 times 12, we have 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. Then after that, you are going to find the factors with a sum of b. And our b is 8. So therefore, you are going to use the pairs of factors which are 2 and 6. So these numbers are used to make the factored expression. And you are going to express the factors in the form x plus 2 times x plus 6. Okay? Next, let us have this. 8x, or x squared rather, plus 8x plus 15. You are going to list the factors of c, which is 15. So you will have here 3 times 5 and 1 times 15. And then, you are going to circle the factors of C with the sum of B. Since we have here the middle term which is 8x, so you will have to use these numbers. Okay? And then, your binomial factors should be x plus 3 times x plus 5. Okay? So, let's have another example. We have x squared plus 10x plus 21. So, the factors of 21 or the positive 21 will be 3 times 7 and, we also have 1 times 21. Oh, sorry, nawala ang 7. Okay. And then, you are going to circle the factors of C with the sum of B, which is 10. So, you are going to use 3 and 7. Therefore, you will have the binomial factors that are x plus 3 and x plus 7. Okay? Is there any question? Okay. So, how about if you are going to factor the trinomial where C is greater than 0 but your B is less than 0? Wherein C is positive and B is negative. So, since a negative number times a negative number produces a positive answer, we can use the same method as before. But, the binomial factors will have subtraction instead of addition. So, let's have x squared minus 13x plus 12. So, you are going to list again the factors of 12. So, we have here 1, 2 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Then, we need the sum of negative 13. Can you see numbers having the sum of negative 13? So, if you haven't seen any numbers with the sum of negative 13, so let us make these numbers negative. So, we have negative 1 times negative 12, negative 2 times negative 6, negative 3 times negative 4. These pairs of numbers are all equal to positive 12. And since we need a sum of negative 13, so we have to use negative 1 and negative 12. So, you have to make sure both values are negative because of the middle term, negative 13. So, the factors will be x minus 1 times x minus 12. Did you get it? Okay. So, let's try. You are going to factor out x squared minus 7x plus 12. So, just like on the previous slide, you are going to have negative binomial factors. So, we have here x minus blank and x minus blank. And since we have here positive 12, you are going to think of factors of positive 12 which has the sum of negative 7. Yes, you're right. You are going to use 3 and 4. So, negative 3 and negative 4. So, the binomial factors will be x minus 3 times x minus 4. Or, you may also have x minus 4 times x minus 3. Now, let's have x squared minus 9x plus 14. So, again, we have to find for the factors of 14, which has the sum of negative 9. So, we have here x minus blank times x minus blank. So, the factors of 14, which has the sum of 9, will be 2 and 7. So, you will have the binomial factors x minus 2 times x minus 7. And for the last example, let us have x squared minus 13x plus 42. Yes, again, we have x minus blank times x minus blank. And the factors of 42 will be 6 and 7. Because if you are going to add negative 6 and negative 7, it is equal to negative 13. So the binomial factors will be x minus 6 times x minus 7. Okay, is there any question? Okay. How about if your last term is less than 0? So we still look for the factors of c. However, in this case, one factor should be positive and the other negative in order to get a negative value for c. Remember that the only way we can multiply two numbers and come up with a negative answer is if one number is positive and the other is negative. So we have here x squared minus x minus 12. In this case, one factor should be positive and the other is negative. So still we have to find for the factors of 12. So we have 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. But we need a sum of negative 1. So obviously in the given, for us to have the sum of negative 1, we are going to use 3 and 4, but your 3 should be positive and your 4 should be negative. So the factors are x plus 3 times x minus 4. Did you get it? Okay. So let us have another example. In this case, we have x squared plus 3x minus 18. So, still, you are going to list the factors of 18. We have 1 times 18, 2 times 9, and 3 times 6. We need a sum of 3. What factors and signs will we use? Okay, you're right. We have x minus 3 times x plus 6. Okay? Any question? Okay, so let's now proceed. So I have here different equations, or rather quadratic trinomials. So you are going to give the other factor to make a true statement. So it simply looks like a fill in the blank. You are going to fill in the missing factor of our given quadratic trinomial on the left side. And then you are going to write the missing factors on the blank. Okay? So just copy this and then you are going to answer this on your notes for your practice. So you are going to practice if you can find for the factors. Okay? And then, let us have this slide also wherein you are going to test yourself. You are going to challenge yourself. If you really understood how you are going to factor quadratic trinomials in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is equal to 1. So, copy this also on your notes. Then, practice so that on our next meeting, whether it is in synchronous or asynchronous schedule, once I gave you the link of our quiz or activity, so you have your mastery on how you are going to factor quadratic trinomials where a is equal to 1. So that's all, and thank you for watching.